Hello everybody, we're time for another tutorial, and this one is after school, so that just shows my level of dedication to teaching you Fusion 360. Over here we have our toaster. Last tutorial I showed you how to get the little feet onto the toaster. We have a main body and a steel base. Now we have a lot of other bodies in our project here. We are going to firstly clean that up so we don't, it's going to be easier for us to find an individual body that we want to work with, which is going to be very relevant later when we start to have these buttons. And then we're also going to make the silver part up on the top of the toaster, similar to how we did the silver part on the bottom of the toaster. So first thing we can go to do with in our browser menu over here, we're going to right click bodies and we're going to say new group. And let's just get this group, let's just rename this group to junk. And what we're going to do in this junk folder is we just want to move all the bodies that we're not using. We don't want to get rid of any of these bodies because they might have been used for another operation. So instead of us deleting them, we're going to get them, we're going to drag them and put them into the junk folder. So we can show them at any point if we unhide that junk folder. So if we, no good, I don't even want to open it. But in theory, we could open it and like if we had things in there that were unhidden, we can show them. Now, so all we have is the two parts. We have the steel base and you have the feet. So now we're going to do the same approach to do the silver part at the top, which is this part over here. So how I would do this object is I am going to treat this as it's a solid piece of metal, but it has a thickness, I don't know, like 5 mil or whatever, but it definitely follows a curvature. So I'm going to make a tube that goes through the whole object, so through the whole main body, cut it using the body cutting tool that we've shown that we did previously with the steel base, which will get us a shape, and then we're going to move that 5 millimeters up to give us the extra surface at the top, and I'll show you what I mean by that. The first thing we're going to do is we have over here, we have the silver. If I hide the original body, we can see that there's this silver part over here at the top. We care mostly about the bottom, the base of this silver line. So I'm going to am I going to do it that way? No. Let's try something else. My bad. All right, let's go top view. We have the silver line over here. Let's use our assumption that the silver line is constant around the object. It's just going to give us a nice curvature. It's not exactly the same distance, but it looks close enough. And I think this will give us a much better looking shape. So we're going to sketch. We're going to sketch in this view over here. We are going to, I forgot to hide my sketch from the last video. We are going to, in this new sketch, we are going to create, project. We want to select this whole body. We'll press OK. We are going to offset this line and we want it to go in and we want it to match this ring about here. So that looks about right. Right, like you're not going to get it perfect, but for our toaster, this more than suffices. We press OK, and now let's go to finish. Oh no, where'd our sketch go? I think it was hidden. There we go. So there's our sketch. Let's go and extrude this sketch. We want to extrude this sketch through the top of our toaster, and we don't want it to make a cut. We want to make it a new body, and we press OK. Now I think we can get rid of the canvases. So what we're going to do here, looks like a big piece of toast. What we're going to do here is we are going to modify, we are going to split body. We're going to press this body over here. We will then, the splitting tool, we want the toaster, the main body, to cut it. And then if we press enter, we should now have these two bodies split. Let's hide this and hide that. So we have the top half and we have this over here is the bottom and this is the top. We do not want the top, so we're going to get rid of this. We actually are going to hide it. If we drag it into our junk folder, it should automatically get rid of it. It's still visible because it's in the junk folder, but once we hide the junk folder, it's no longer visible. Okay, so we have this shape over here, and now what we're going to do is we are going to select this part of we've selected this body. We will then move it. Let's move it up. How high is it? That's 1 millimeter. My toaster is actually tiny. I will have to fix that later. 1 millimeter, let's just visibly pick how high we want it to come up. So let's go to our canvas and look at this view over here. And let's see how high we want this to be. Not very high at all. I think I may have scaled my toaster accidentally. So you change whichever numbers make sense for your project. 0.1, that's probably enough. 0.1 thickness. So we press OK. And so now, look, this says extruded 0.1 thickness on top. And we're going to do the same thing. We're going to cut it again. So if we go to split body, we're going to select this body over here. The splitting tool we want is the main body. And then we press OK. And we have our two bodies again. So we want to hide this one, go away. So if we hide everything else, we see here's the little curved part at the top. Perfectly curved to fit on top of our object. And let's label this. We have steel base. Let's rename this because now we're going to start naming our things because it's going to help us later when we pick our colors and such. We're going to call this steel top. Steel short for, I believe it's stainless steel in the actual thing, but I don't want to have to write stainless steel on here. It's too big a word. So we have this part of our toaster here. And don't worry about these lines because when we actually render them, they're going to get rid of themselves because right now we have shaded with visible edges only. We can actually turn off we can just do shaded and it's going to show that's what our toaster is actually going to look like, which is more like what we expect our toaster to look like. I just like to, when I'm doing my designing, to keep all my edges on. It's going to help you when you decide to do like filleting and stuff like that. Right, so we have this shape over here. So now let's make our holes for our toaster. Let's turn our canvases back on. If we look at our top view, we can see here these holes are clearly some sort of rectangles with circles around them. So let's sketch this plane over here. Let's start by designing a rectangle and let's make it. We want to overdo these rectangles. Does that look about right? Yep, that looks about right. And then now that that's overdone, we can fillet these corners. So we want this corner, we want this corner, and this corner. Right, and we can also dimension. If we dimension this fillet over here, hold on. Will this fillet equal that fillet? No. Can we just change this? Does this change all of them? 1. Oh, it didn't like that. It didn't like that at all. It did change them, but it also didn't lock the rest of the screen. Let's hide. I want to hide the bodies because it's annoying with the canvas. Okay. So I still like this shape of the toaster. I don't really want to adjust it. I think I'm just going to keep it as it is. It looks good enough. Then I believe we're down an axis of symmetry, so let's draw a line Turn on grid snap. Are we able to? We do have a line. Let's make a line down the middle. That we're determining is our symmetry line. So when we go and mirror, we can mirror all of these shapes. And the mirror line we want to reflect it by is this one, and yeah, that's good enough. Right? Yeah. All right, we're done. Finish sketch. Let's show our bodies again. Thank you. Hello, welcome back. We can get rid of these canvases now. So we have this. Now we want to move, we want to cut these holes through the toaster. Right, so it would be dangerous, but if you had a plastic ruler, you could measure in your toaster how deep it goes. But we just want to approximate how deep this is going to go into our toaster. We're going to go to extrude, and I'm going to show you a mistake that happens. This is on purpose. Right? If we click both of these profiles that we want to work with, this one, and if I go and cut it, all is good. But if I cut through both of the objects, I believe, if I press enter, is it going to join them together? Never mind, that has been fixed. Oh, nice. That's what the inside of the toaster looks like. Very nice. And that's about the depth that you want. Make sure when you do your cut there, it's not going through the actual base of the toaster. That's going to be bad. But yeah, that looks good. We can also change the inside of our toaster because we don't want it to be the cream color. So the issue we have here, how do we do this? What is the easiest way to do this so we can cheat? Okay, what we're going to do, I like cheating. We will keep this steel top, we want to hide this, you're fine. It's this part over here we don't like, because we don't want the inside of our toaster to look like cream, because you're going to have like elements and stuff like that in there. So what we're going to do instead, we'll go to this sketch that we made, we will edit this sketch, and we will go over here, we'll press offset, we'll press this path, and let's offset it out by 0.275. Sure, that looks nice. 0.275, yes. And we will offset this also by 0.275. 5, yep, okay. And then we will finish the sketch. Let's go over here, let's find this. What we're going to do is we're going to extrude this out. We'll extrude both of these out. Hello, can I select that face please? There we go. And now we are going to cut this out of the object, but first thing we're going to do is we want to make a new body. All right. We then want to combine this tool and we want to intersect it with this tool and this tool. All right, but we want to keep our original tools. Does that work? No, that doesn't work. Okay, so we want to cut it out of the body, yes. And then we also want to make, what do I want to do? I want to cut it out and I also want to make a new body with that shape. These two operations. So I want to split the body. So over here, split the body. I want to split this body by these shapes, this shape and this shape, please. Thank you. So now let me hide, what I hide, oh, whatever I hide had worked. So now we have these, yes, a lovely. We can get rid of these two now, we don't need these anymore. You can go in junk and you can go in junk. So now we have these, what am I saying? Oh, that's annoying. We'll change the name of these later. But I believe here we have these two parts, and these is what we're going to make this. We're going to make these into a different material. No, not all of those, please. That and that. We will right click this. Physical material. We want this to be dark. So we want this to be a metal. What's a very dark looking metal here? Scroll through. Aluminium, anodized silver. A lot of steels. Oh, okay. Let's just call it, let's just make it wrought. We don't want paint finish. Mild steel. Okay. Let's make these mild steel. So they're going to come out as a darker shape. And while we have them here selected, we might as well rename this. So this is the main body, so this is fine. This one over here is the one we want to change the name of. Oh my gosh. This one over here is the one we want to change the name of. We want to change this to bread slot 1. This one over here will be slot 2. And this one over here will just be the main body. And Torino. Right, so now let's see what happens. If I unhide all these things, oh my, nice. We have the inside of our toaster. Ah, we've got to do the feet. How do we do that? We can do this, we can do this, we can do this. Let's hide the steel base, hide the main body, hide the steel top. So we want to make the base of the toaster. So what we'll do is we will just sketch this plane over here. Thank you very much. Sketch. Oh no, we don't even have to. I think if we just go over here, and if we just extrude, and we extrude this, and I believe it was 0.25, yes, 275. I believe now that should just, because we joined it, right? So this is the one time we want our thing to join as it is. We've done that. So now, it's the time for us to decide that we want to be a little bit fancy. How much time do we have? 17 minutes, yes. So let's be a little bit fancy. We know that the inside of the canvas has this toaster shape thing over here. We can make this right now. It's not going to be, we can make a thing that looks similar to it, but not exactly the same. But it's going to make our drawing look that much better if we do this now when we have access to the inside of our toaster. So what we're going to do, we're going to create a sketch. Let's see what it looks like on the canvas. All right, so it's like this zigzag pattern. We can make that fairly easy. We will go over here. We will make like a tube that goes down like this. All right, we'll make a trapezium that goes like, yeah, like this and here and here. I don't know why that didn't work. Cool. And then let's go and let's fillet this side and this side. Cool. And then let's go and create rectangular pattern. We want this and this and this and this and this. Right. There are 4 of those, so we want to just up the number to 4. And we'll just stretch it till, yeah, that's about right. That looks nice. We press OK. And then we'll do the same thing on this side over here. We'll just go guess the shape we want. Approximately there, and there, and there, and there. Cool, and we go and fillet the sides again. We want this corner and this corner. And then we want to go in rectangular pattern. This. Why is it always exactly when you want to click, eh? All right, we want it to be, I believe there's 4 this side as well. And we go like this. We're going to make it. Oh, lovely. Okay. And there's a bit of a shape thing over here as well. So let's just go over here and make a, yeah, why not? It looks something like this. And then I think we just continue this. We make it into the toaster. We don't actually care where it goes, but we have this shape over here. That's like a very approximate shape. And then, because it's going to be easier for us to extrude this out as one piece, which is not what it really looks like, but no one's going to know the difference. Let's just cut a whole bunch of lines. Yep, because it's just going to be easier for us to click one single line later. So by cutting, sorry, I mean we're trimming. The action is actually trimming. I'm going to trim, trim, trim. That looks fine from that direction. Over here, we're going to trim this over here. All right. Oh my gosh, why am I rotating us around? The last thing let's do, let's fillet these edges just to make it look like more of a real shape. And I think this is like where the spring mechanism is connected to. We don't actually, I'm not gonna expect you to draw the spring, although you could if you wanted to. All right, so you have this shape here. Now we are going to make this, again, we're gonna make this a new body, obviously, but we need to extrude it. Complete the shape over here. Whatever, if it's 1 mil, how thick is that? No, not join, new body, please. What? Taper angle 0 degrees, please. Now, why is there an issue here? Cancel, maybe I did something wrong. Maybe I angered somebody. Let's hide. Hide you, okay. Oh, there's probably more bodies for us to deal with. Okay. So we want to extrude this and this. All right, now what if we make this one, how much is that? 0.2. Yeah, let's just do that much. So now this is our new body, and we've made this, and this can be, what would we call this part over here? Toaster holder. All right, so let's, and this fits inside our toaster slot, and we will just make this out of a different material so it's more visible. All right, let's pick a different material to make this toaster holder out of. Material, I believe it previously was mild steel. Let's just make it a normal steel. Maybe that will show up differently. I hope it does. If we shine a light in there, oh yes, when we do the heating elements. So we have this. We need to make a copy of this. So we're going to move and copy, click. I'm going to click this body over here, and we're going to just move it over here. Wait, why aren't you letting me make a copy? Body, this body. Make a copy, please, thank you. And you go right over here. Oh my. Does that not want to work? I mean, that looks good enough, right? That does look good enough. We press OK. So now we have these two little toaster elements in here. Now the last thing we want to get a really nice looking toaster is you need to toast the toast somehow. So you need to have heating elements in your toaster. How are we going to get heating elements in this toaster and keep this video under half an hour? We're not. We're going to do that in the next video. But for now, this should still look good enough. We have our base of our toaster. And what we actually are going to do, we're going to cheat a little bit. Even though this is metal, we're still going to change the appearance on. So right now I'm holding the shift button and I'm just selecting a bunch of these faces. But specifically, I'm not selecting the part. Actually, hold on. I can make it a lot easier. We're going to hide the two toaster holders. These two bread slot parts, even though we have them as steel, let's just select them. And we're going to right click under appearance. we're going to make it appear as a different color. We wanted to make it appear as black. So so now these are black, and when we have a toaster holder, they're clearly visible as like different materials, which is what they will look like inside. All right, our toaster is starting to look pretty nice now. So the last things we have to do, because you've already seen the number tutorial, how to do the curved letters, we have to do the handles and the buttons, which I'll do that in another tutorial. And then we're probably ready to start getting some nice renderings out of this toaster. But that will be for another tutorial. Goodbye and good luck.